Hey everybody, Tony D. Little Jones barking somewhere in the house. And this is a screenwriter's rant about Being the Ricardos. It's a new movie. It's coming out. There's what's the name? Hale. Hale's great from Arrested Development. J.K. Simmons. This is Nicole Kidman, by the way, who looks a lot like Lucielle Ball in this. I don't know how they made that. I wonder if they're doing CGI or what, but it's an amazing look. And Javier Bardem is Ricky Ricardo. Now, a lot of you are probably not old enough to remember Lucille Ball or her TV show. I'm just old enough to remember some of the reruns in the 70s. This is like about her heyday when she was like the biggest thing on television. She was huge. The Lucy show was massive. She was a movie star, comedian who made it big, and then her show was just monster huge. Monster huge. So big that in the 70s, after Ricky died and Tony Hale, Aaron Sorkin, written and directed by, and I'm sure he knows the material very well, but this is going to be, I'm sure there's going to be a lot of cursing. It's on Prime the 21st, in theaters on the 10th. I don't know who would go to the theaters to see a movie about an old TV show that even I'm not old enough to remember much of. I didn't watch the black and white stuff. I watched Lucy in the 70s when she was an old lady, and I'd watch the show going, she's pretty funny for an old lady. Yeah, I guess I'll watch this before McHale Navies comes on. That was the old show I used to like. McHale's Navy and Hogan's Heroes, but Three Stooges. The black and white Lucys really weren't on. It was the I Love Lucys, which were in color, shot in the 70s. So I caught the very tail end. And I think even then, her show had been off the air already by the time I watched any of it. It was just reruns. So she was a giant at her of her time, of her era. It's just weird to me that they greenlight stuff like this because Hollywood's just so obsessed with itself. I guess it's not weird that Hollywood would greenlight it. I just wonder who the audience is, I always think, like, who's the audience for this? Like, okay, people alive for this are got to be in their, like, 70s or higher? 70s, 80s, 90s? It's not a big audience. So, I know who it is, but I'm not all that interested in seeing this. It's just going to be a dramatization of her life, right? And they always over-dramatize it. Now, Aaron Sorkin, I'm a big fan of. So, great. There they are. The power. They were a power couple in Hollywood. And very talented and funny, by the way. There's Javier Bardem. But I would rather just see them. I mean, there's tons of reruns of them. If I'm going to be interested. I mean, I'm going to watch a over-dramatized series, not series, but movie about their life. For what exactly? What am I getting out of this? Am I going to learn about a time? I kind of already know about this time. And for the people who don't know about this time, can they even relate to it? Can they even relate to the eras prior to the internet when TV was big, smoking, everybody smoked and drank? Where men were men and women were women? I mean, who's the audience for? It's not the Twitter mob. Those idiots don't know who any of these people are. So, I don't know. Are you making this for 80-year-olds? Who's this for? It's going to be the rise and fall, right? First act, Desi and Lucy are struggling comics, and then they hit it big, and, because Lucy's gorgeous, and Ricky's super talented, and Lucy's also very talented, and they make it big, and they're a power couple, and they get to show it. It's a massive monster hit in the second act, and they just rise and rise and rise to the top, and they're making so much money, but eventually all that power goes to their head, and it starts to pull them apart, and they have problems in their marriage, and then at some point some of the cast starts to die as they get older, but Lucy prevails, and she's still smoking, and she's still making shows, and then at some point she dies, and the end. That's what most of these things are. Is it going to be good? Well, Aaron Sorkin wrote and directed it. I think it'll be good. I just don't know who wants to see this. Who's this for? 18 to 40, 18 to 35-year-olds? No, they're all way too young to even know who these people are. 35. Okay, so let's take the top 35, and the new audience is really 20 to 45. So let's take 45. All right, so 45, they were born after me, so 76. I think Lucy was dead. I guess that, by the time they're 10, by the time you're like 10 watching TV, that's 86. I don't think any of this stuff was on TV in 86. So they even know who these people are? So, I mean, yeah, you'll have this amazing, wow, look at this. It's the set of the Lucy show. It's exactly, look at his clothes, his hair. It's all perfect. Yeah, okay. These people never saw it. They don't know how perfect it is. They just know what you're presenting them. So, I don't know. I think it's something I wouldn't have greenlit. It's Hollywood's, again, self-obsession. But maybe it'll be good. I mean, it's an amazing cast. Pretty amazing writer and director. It'll probably be good. Are you interested? I'm barely interested, and I know who these people are. And I like Hollywood. Well, I like talking about Hollywood. Anyhow, that's my rant. This is Tony D saying see you tomorrow. I gotta go find out what the hell Joan is barking at.